Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about how you can make wiser decisions so that you don't base your decisions on your emotions and on your instincts in that moment, but actually are able to have more the long-term thinking in mind so you can benefit more from your long-term vision instead of just thinking day to day. In emergency situations or under great challenges, like right here in Los Angeles right now with the wildfires going on, we usually have more of our amygdala, the deepest part in our brain that is responsible for our survival, activated. And that is important for us to get us out of that super immediate emergency situation and to help us to survive, because it exaggerates the threats usually, and therefore it pushes us to really make a move and to get out of that situation. That's when it releases like all of the energy that the muscle can have, and is not holding back anymore, so that we sometimes like literally can move mountains or cars or something like that. But what it also does is it exaggerates the escape routes and the possible solutions sometimes. And we think, all right, like we have to go that way right now. We got to get out of this situation. And that's when people start panicking. And that's what happened here in Los Angeles. People started just panicking, and everybody, jammed all the streets and got in traffic jams. And some people abandoned their cars because they wanted to escape, and they started like walking instead of, staying in the car. And that probably wasn't the wisest decision. They would have probably survived even if they stayed in the car. But in that moment, people are very emotionally driven and driven by that amygdala, which, as I said, is not really making the most rational decisions, but more decisions where the threat is getting exaggerated. And we think we impulsively have to, get out of this and get towards, the escape route, And so whenever we are in a situation like that, if we can, it's wise to just step back for a second and to activate the medial prefrontal cortex in our brain by weighing the benefits and the drawbacks of whatever decision we're going to make. And when we do that, and when we really try to consider all the information that we have in that moment, and think of the pros and cons, then we are able to make a more rational decision, which helps us to mitigate the risks of whatever we're going to do next, and also helps us to have more of the long-term effects in our mind, and have more foresight in general. And that helps us to have a decision that comes more from our intuition and from our heart than from just the instincts away from that threat, or the impulses towards the support, towards the escape route, towards the solution. So as I said, making that little bit of an effort, if you will, to either sit down if you got enough time and really write down the pros and cons, the benefits and drawbacks of either of the maybe two ways that you have in mind. Think of benefits and drawbacks of going this way, or benefits or drawbacks of going that way, and to really just not think, all right, like I don't want to listen to what these people are saying, because it's false anyways, but to be open and to give it at least some consideration, so that you have all the information possible, and you can analyze and decide yourself if whatever somebody else is recommending you, or what people are saying about whatever's going to happen. For example, with the air quality in Los Angeles right now, some people believe in it, some people don't. But if you really are open to it, and if you consider it, you can still try to make your own decision and weigh if it's like really that important, or is it really having that much of an influence on my health? You know, in the short term, but also in the long term, because like people tend to think more short term. And right now it doesn't bother me, but it might bother me, you know, a few weeks, months, years down the road. And you know, when you weigh all these pros and cons and the benefits and drawbacks, as I said, you make a wiser decision, and you make a decision that comes more from your intuition and from your heart. And that is usually the decision that helps you more in the long run. And what it also helps you if you do that is to be able to catch the opportunities that are out there. Because there's always opportunities in challenges, if you believe in it or not. But there is usually, for each individual in their life, in some of the areas of life, some opportunities there. And if you are really sitting down and looking and weighing the pros and cons and everything, then you can catch them more likely, and you can then take advantage of those opportunities more than if you would just follow your instincts in that moment, and you wouldn't really think all of this through and be really open and look for the opportunities really. So that is in general what I believe is helps you to make wiser and more long-term decisions. So take the time, if it's a few minutes, a few, even, you know, if it's an hour that it takes you, really try to think of all the benefits and drawbacks in all areas of life. And the moment where you can see just as many benefits and drawbacks, you actually have your intuition kicking in, and that is what makes the wisest decisions. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss any future videos anymore, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and also activate the notification bell, and that will also help me to reach more people so that they can benefit from the tips and knowledge that I'm sharing as well.